Every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name's Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines today. In the headlines tonight, primary school teacher sentenced to 5 years in prison for aggravated defilement. Two West Nile districts confirm Rift Valley fever in animals. And Moyo District residents urged to shun laziness. This and more in the NILE CAST News Bulletin. It's the 21st of November 2023. You're most welcome to the NILE CAST only on West Nile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. The first session of Nebi High Court has sentenced James Ojaki, a teacher from Parombo Town Council, to 5 years and 2 months imprisonment after being found guilty of 1 count of aggravated defilement. Take a look.
The presiding judge, His Lordship George Okello from Gulu High Court, while reading the charge of aggravated defilement to the accused, he observed that prosecution was beyond reasonable convinced, basing on substantial evidence that the accused pleaded guilty of the offense he committed on 25th December 2023 while he was a primary teacher at Parombo Town Council, Nebi District. He said the convict will serve only 5 years and 2 months, basing on the facts that the accused did not waste court's time.
In this case, the age of 17 years is a mitigating factor, but does not take away the offense. The convict also appears remorseful, considering all the circumstances submitted by the defense and the convict, as well as the 12 years proposed by the state and the 5 and 3 years respectively counter-proposed by the defense. And considering precedents in this area, I find that the sentence of 6 years would serve the ends of justice, and I find it appropriate. Considering that the convict has served 9 months and 12 days on remand, I hereby deduct that period and sentence the convict Ojaki James to 5 years, 2 months and 18 days imprisonment starting today. If I've computed it wrongly, you correct me before I sign. The convict has a right of appeal against both conviction and sentence within 14 days from today.
Meanwhile, the convict, James Ojaki, prayed for leniency and light sentence given the fact that he served 1 year on remand. Ojaki is a teacher and first-time offender who needed to give an exemplary life to the rest of the members of the community. Ojaki allegedly defiled a 17-year-old primary 7 candidate and later tested pregnant, but his action drew attention of the parents, who reported the matter to Navy police, who sang into actions.
Actually, when I met the lady, even in my statement that I made, the lady told me to do things, which if she did not tell me, I would not even come to this school. The girl told me she was 19 years, she was in senior 1, and she dropped out of school.
So she was not studying?
She was not studying.
She was not in your school?
No, the girl was not in my school.
No.
And then when this occurrence happened, even the father took the girl to this tailoring school programs.
He was sent to Koch Government Prison in Nebi District. The High Court session in Nebi District will be for 40 days and will handle over 50 files of criminal nature. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories, Mr. Gore Goffin, the resident district commissioner, Moyo District, is urging the general public in the West Nile region to shun laziness, something that has left the region behind in terms of development. Okumu Dominic reports.
West Nile region is currently lagging behind in terms of development compared to the central and the western part of the country, especially in terms of modern infrastructure, something which has for long raised concern among the public, with others blaming the government, saying the sharing of the national cake is not being done equally, while others blamed it on the laziness among the people in the West Nile region. Mr. Gore Goffin, the resident district commissioner, Moyo, say generally the people of West Nile are lazy. More so, the introduction of several government programs has even made the situation more worse. This, he say, has made the people to always wait for free things from the government and other partners, hence affecting development.
President Museveni says my people should come back. They were repatriated from exile. When they arrived here, they were given free foods. Then government introduced rehabilitation, resettlement program. Northern Uganda this, Northern Uganda that, Northern Uganda this. Up to today, our people were trained on that to be the groups we give you. Be the groups we give you. Groups we give you. Now, the hard work our parents had, West Nile people were hard working. There would be granaries at home with food. The children who are born in exile are now the parents right now. The 6 years they stayed in exile, came back, were fed on free stuff. They made over 10 years without learning how to work. They are the parents right now. They married, they have given birth. That's why you see a child and the father are on the roadside.
Honorable Andu Richard Opeli, the Vice Chairman, Local Council 5 Moyo, however, blamed the laziness in the region on the youth, saying the youth of these days don't want to put their energies to work, but instead they have entered into drug abuse, something which was not the case in the past.
Indeed, laziness is there. For sure, laziness is there. And this laziness is due to mindset. It's due to mindset of youth. Like us, when we grew through hardship. We grew through hardship. Our parents used to be very strict on us, not leaving us behind in any activity, more especially agricultural activity, where we're all involved. But the youth of today do not want to handle horse. They prefer going for discos. They prefer chewing marungi. They prefer eating, drinking moyo moyo, and the rest. These are drug abuse. These are the children, the youth of today. Now, as a leader, the only thing is continue advising to redress, to change their behavior.
Mr. Mali Michael, the District Education Officer Moyo, agrees that there is laziness among the people in the district and blamed it on the culture which allows the existence of extended families and too much belief in social lifestyles such as parties and too much alcoholism, which reduces the strength and the energy to do work among the people.
People have become lazy over the years. Why are people lazy? The first reason is the culture. We are still strongly binded together as members of the extended family. What I'm unable to provide for my children in food and medical care, up to now, my brothers and sisters are able to provide. So that does not provoke me into very hard working. Then secondly, our culture revolves around heavy celebrations, a lot of drinking going on for so many days and nights. At a burial place, it is not uncommon to find people staying for more than 2 weeks. At weddings, it is not uncommon to find people staying for a whole week, drinking and eating free food. After the heavy drinking, they do not feed well. A week to do a lot of manual work. So unless we change some of this, we will not move forward.
Honorable Isadru Peter, the Youth Chairman Moyo District accepts the fact that most of the youth in the district are idle and this promotes laziness among them, but he, however, encouraged the youth to venture into agricultural practices so as to avoid cases of theft and drug abuse which would result into imprisonment.
Or you are energetic, you can work physically. But now my question is, what is preventing you because you are able to work? For me, I attribute this one to the negative mindset of the youth. So for me, I want to encourage that let us develop a positive mindset towards work so that eating marungi, stealing, and those other factors which can make us to end up in prison will be minimized.
According to the Uganda National Bureau of Statistics UBOS report, poverty in West Nile region has reduced from 35% in 2017 to 17% in 2020, but a lot of efforts is still needed so as to encourage the people to get involved in income generating activities so as to move out of the poverty within the region. I'm Dominic Antonio Kumu for West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories, the Prime Minister for Alur Kingdom, Right Honorable Prince Upar Angala Lawrence has broken the silence on the increasing rates of witchcraft in the Alur land, especially within the religious leaders. During the press conference with journalists on the 21st of November 2023 this afternoon at Alur Kingdom Palace, the Prime Minister said his office is overwhelmed with the increasing cases of the witchcraft which has degraded the personalities of believers under the kingdom. Take a look.
During the press conference with the journalists this afternoon at Alur Kingdom's Palace, the Prime Minister said his office is overwhelmed by the increasing cases of witchcraft which has degraded the personality of believers under the kingdom. Opar has threatened to arrest clan chiefs who connive with witch doctors to confuse the community in death-related cases in the Alur Kingdom. The Prime Minister further revealed that for the last 3 months, over 30 grass-thatched houses were burned by an angry mob in Pashaka village, Eru sub-county, after consultations with the witch doctors from DR Congo that their son was bewitched and died mysteriously. He, however, appealed to religious leaders to sensitize both believers and unbelievers against practicing witchcraft.
Iglesia munge kanisa munge bajo haleluya ge kumle bairo gi files de mapole banga mataka TV watiyu le meno rusi imebi akeni okokeni kari junam unang le dai kucha bidi bangwa junam ana beti utiyu ko jo le bajo ge yoto ngoko jo embe ibuku mwamilo epe buku mwamishek ni Uganda kucha epe Chalo le panguli je peju wadu chen kudi buku ba chen bench na do judre ya wan judre police chuti kudengo imi koti kudengo jumi local government ti kudengo do makoti do makoti kudengo ko mwana wange kidemi wote ku system wote ku yomwa ni kal minwango jajo kono ya joke wakiri se chengwa mikao wangu kidimitimne aya ko mako nyinde ni jumidini de ya kage no ko magdu le mre ba ko ku jagide sero dano de ati ko files padana magi ay majukelo gi magiti e mut ko rosali mutgi padana magi ay negiti e madas uni kunu yoge ba kuja jurudini jono ango gingo jurudini jono ango tu jogi donc on ango gi on ne ala brete raje kashango otingu waso jurudini otiko gi love chwingi bien wan Waka wa fu de shi ki dano wa shwale ka mo ka bo shwale ya kono ngida ko esen dana su mo miri miles mo do wada de ki dano mo am ko tina dano mo do wada ter ki yo kom ki dano ene ba ki lokki ko o te ko sisi alo jalo o bemo o te ko power ni go ko jari por go ko ja jogre ene washi ko dana ma ko fotki ne dano megi ko ma jatie na shiko dana mitungo ukare shiko eta edo ko don keso ko mi in ko nguja ikaji peji ko gamelo yi kai do angu kelgi bango kai jok tie pe sendi pa jubo kere ka wane ka longo te miti gore do ko ngo no angi yinde gi ngey ete ko medendi.
In the meantime, the Bishop of Nebi Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Pons Ozelawijo, reiterates that believers should have faith in God by living an exemplary life to others every day.
Abe situatie de dano kumai dano sheke ai pachu kai ai pachu ishukulu woro be mungo ishukulu woro go ker muamira lur inyatin mapunji do shubedi wate kanisa de ai ko di pachu kai bini I kanisa wa wor obim wa wor kera lur mwa ande maka wor kera lur biana nyati jalur Jadiku kau bini kido kuma metwa nenya ni aker muamira luru che kido mako wor ena wishu yuju Kristo tanu mange gero kai bot sido mako go wor kera luru che pasho mai idea.
Last year, 3 clan chiefs in Nebi district were arrested by a security team on allegations that they brought witch doctors from DR Congo to come and perform rituals in Erusi and Kuchwin sub-county, but they were released after being warned against the acts. Alfred Jawok, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories. The family of the leader of the Lord Resistance Army, Joseph Kony, who fought with the Uganda government for over 2 decades, is crying to meet the president as the appointed day the president had promised them earlier in September has passed, and they're losing the trust that they had earlier on those who had first taken them to see the president in August. Stephen Okello from Gulu reports.
After meeting the president in August 2023, scheduled another meeting with the entire family of LRA leader Joseph Kony in September 2023 to discuss and provide a comprehensive rehabilitation package to them. The family is also expecting President to unveil his mega plan for the war victim of LRA in northern Uganda.
Donc madame ara di bukan jamne donc paw ta ko ma be de toile man lo ka ma president waju kayde yan nerma ermi ni wa nyodu ma ermi ni wa ka ro ma laaj donc darma erno o karo ma o mi arno wa ku pe kayde wa ko doctian ila in bot en dan ami ku bi chani donc
Medina Akuro, the mother of Ali Salongo Kony, one of the wife of the notorious leader of the Lord Resistance Army, explained in tears the difficulty she is going through in providing for the family as a breadwinner. She said her only hope of settling with her family is with the presidents, and somebody is purposely blocking them.
Kidong ye wa ma che ma en be la fu en pour dia cham tie en wa tika le ko kwe ki wa tika ko ya te wa da cham ki chen ki chai nyo ki chen nyo ki ya ko ma le.
Moses Komakech, a university graduate who is believed to be the elder son of Joseph Kony, returns earlier. Moses, who benefited from the government scholarship, pleaded to those who are believed to be blocking them from meeting the president that they are not only going to talk about their family, but the entire LRA victims of northern Uganda.
This is not about the family of Joseph Kony. This is about the survivors of conflict in northern Uganda. We would not go there and just talk to the president about us only. You know, the whole of northern Uganda suffered. So we talk about all the survivors of conflict of northern Uganda. So as our family is being resettled also, the survivors of conflict in northern Uganda should also be resettled, so that will help them develop and help them also be empowered. Because when they're empowered, it will also help our nation to grow as a whole, economically, socially, and in all other different ways.
Billy Graham, an NRM cadre, says the president must look at this issue as a serious matter because this might have a bigger impact on the 2026 general elections.
Because we have poor leaders around, they capitalize on something which they know if they put hatred in people's mind, definitely they will get voted, because we have such kind of weak leader in Acholi. You know, they talk of land, government is grabbing land, they talk of killing people in camp. This time they will talk about this child, which the president should take it up so that they have nowhere to say.
The question of difficulties people meet in the struggle to have one-on-one with the president is a complex issue, given its security details and the demand for such meeting from both national and international guests, which is overwhelming, and this claim that somebody is blocking those who seek to meet him on the daily basis is questionable. Stephen Okello for West Nile Television, NILE CAST.
And more in our stories, there is a suspected outbreak of Rift Valley fever among animals in the districts of Terego and Madiokolo after samples turned out positive of the disease. The disease that presents with fever, rigor, headache, severe muscle joint pain, photophobia and anorexia, among others, is transmitted by mosquitoes and blood-feeding flies. Revealing more details on the disease, Dr. Willie Nguma, the Aurora Regional Veterinary Laboratory, situated in Aurora City, explains that the disease is zoonotic in nature and has not widely spread in the region, and asked the farmers to rush and pick vaccines for their animals from the district veterinary officers to minimize the risks. Take a look.
The disease called the Rift Valley fever, which affects both goats, sheep, and cattle, but also humans can be affected. It's a zoonotic disease. We did surveillance using our lab structures. We posted these samples to reference labs in Entebbe, that is NADEC and UVRI. Samples results came out to indicate positivity for Rift Valley fever in a few cases. However, the challenge has been we have been unable to tag whether the positivity was due to the active virus or it was due to long-standing immunity. Yeah, those cases are often, we are getting them around the Madiokolo district, areas of Ribo, Rhino Camp, but also Terego, for which we really need to be very, very vigilant. The trend so far is not bad. We have vaccines available. They are provided free of charge.